All right. Welcome, everyone. Peace and blessings.
What's going on?
It's your boy, Terrell.
And Samuel.
Back at it again with Solo Talk.
You know it.
But this episode is going to be very intricate, but we're going to take our time on it.
I would say this episode is the start of a series. So it's going to be a 4-part series, give or take a couple episodes. A series on the 12 laws of karma and karmic balance, karmic weight, and how these things affect your life. Go ahead.
I just want to iterate on the 12 laws of karma comes from Hindu and Buddhism and things like that, but it's not like we follow that religion or whatever. It's not like we don't, but we know that these 12 laws of karma is a big part of life, and it makes a lot of sense as far as core values of life and just simple principles that you can abide by and you can help your life. You know?
Absolutely.
So start out.
Okay. So as far as karma goes, I've kind of done research into it. Dove in. I knew about karma, as y'all probably do as well, but I wasn't aware of the different types. I wasn't aware of how deep the belief in karma goes. Like you said, it's Hinduism, it's Buddhism as well. But I feel like all religions kind of apply to everybody as well in a sense. You know, they're all kind of similar. But so it's really just up to you what you believe or what you choose to believe. But we'll go into different types of karma and what karma really is. So there's different types of karma. Please bear with me. Some of these are hard to pronounce. But we have Prarabdha karma. Prarabdha, I'm sorry. Prarabdha karma, which refers to the karma you've accumulated in this lifetime. So everything you've done since the moment you were born to the day that you die. This is what this karma represents. This is usually what people refer to.
I think we should, just to start off, karma, the meaning of karma, because they're like, you're building up karma. What is karma? So karma is action. It means action, the origin of the word. No, it's fine.
Oh, shit, okay.
The origin of karma is...
I just want to...
No, you just gotta listen, tune in, and we're good to go as long as people watch.
No,
that's all that matters. But it means action.
Yeah.
The word karma means action. So this is a huge deal. Anyways, so if you accumulate all this karma within your lifetime, it's the accumulation of action there is, or action there lack of.
Yes.
You know,
so I would say, yeah, you're right. The basis of karma, we need to start at the very, very beginning because, maybe y'all haven't even heard of karma before. Maybe we're just assuming
because people just assume, karma is a bitch. You're gonna it's gonna come back around to you, which in a way, but it's more than that.
Yeah, I feel like, and that's one thing that I didn't know. We're doing a lot of research on this. I hadn't even read the 12 laws of karma before we started doing research to do this episode, and I found out that it's so much more than cause and effect. Cause and effect is one of the 12 laws, right? And so I think the main reason why I want to go over the different types of karma is to let people know, why these laws apply in different areas of your life as well. I'm not sure about, you have the Sanchita karma, which is the karma of past lives. I feel like that's subjective as well, if you believe in reincarnation, and that's more on the religious side of things.
See, I didn't even take it as reincarnation, That's why I really like these things, because I believe everyone can have their own perspective on it and grow from it and learn from it. Because I took it as like ancestors, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Your past lives, we get our karma from our past life. So
yeah.
It could be reincarnation, but it could be our ancestors.
So you're referring to like bloodline?
Bloodline. What is your family and, what is your line of history?
Interesting. No, I agree with that as well. I agree with that 100%. I think it can be taken both ways. You know what I'm saying? It just depends on how, I don't want to say how open-minded you are, but what you believe, or if you're
how it fits into your life.
Exactly. But the main types of karma that we'll be focusing on is agami karma. This is your basic karma. It's the karma that's given directly to you based on your current and past actions. So it's past and current actions determine your future karma. And this is kind of the karma that everybody knows about. What goes around comes around, which kind of leads us into the first law. So the first law, you want to read it?
The law of creation?
No. The great law. The great law.
The great law, yes. Reap what you sow. What you put out is what you will receive. If you plant love,
Sorry, my handwriting is not the best.
if you plant love and kindness, you shall grow and harvest love and kindness.
So to me, the great law, the best way to describe this is that it's a basic karma, cause and effect, right? If I do something bad, that's what's going to come back to me. If I plant love and kindness in others, others will plant love and kindness in me.
And I will emphasize that it's kind of subjective, like I said. So it's not right away. You could say I love you, and someone can say I hate you right away. But you're gonna receive that love from a different angle at a different time. You know, it doesn't mean like I did this and I didn't get nothing good back. Well, no, that's you're doing it for the wrong intentions.
No,
selfishly, instead of just putting it all out there and knowing that it'll come back somehow, some way.
I think this is something that, at least whenever I was younger, right, whenever we were serving at Cito's, like I'd go out and I'd want to tip somebody well, and my intention would be, I'm gonna tip you fat so that somebody else tips me fat, and that's wrong. You know what I mean? It's obviously it's understanding how karma works, but it's also I didn't have the pure intentions behind it.
I don't think it's necessarily that wrong because it's the same thing as love. I want to give love because I want to be loved. So if I want to give you money, I want to get money too. But if I don't receive that money, it's still okay.
That's what I'm saying. Is that I was only giving you a
still gonna give you that money next time.
I was only giving a big tip so that I'd get a big tip. So there wasn't the intention behind it. You know, it wasn't as genuine as it'd be now. You know what I'm saying? And so I think, at least for me, you know, I interpret this, like you said, there's no time limit on the cause and effect or the love that you give out. There's no time limit on when it'll come back to you. Vice versa. You know, things that you could have done years ago that were wrong or hurting somebody or whatever it is could come back to you years later. You know what I mean? And it sucks, but that also just drives me to be perfect always and to be nice always.
And it's also, you know, it's just big. It's a big deal to me because this can tie into whatever religion that you want to use or follow or worship, whatever God, because you need to have faith that this good karma, these blessings, is going to come back to you regardless.
Yes.
So you need to have faith in your God, Jesus, Allah, whatever it is, the higher one, the universe. You got to have faith that it's all going to be okay. It's all going to come back in good form.
I think you talking about action and how your actions have a reaction that leads into the law of creation. Because in all three of these, so we're going over the first three laws of karma today. And the reason that we're doing the first three is because we feel like they're connected, right? So you have your action and reaction, but you have the law of creation, which shows you the law of creation is all about how your relationship with karma will influence the life you're creating. So the actions you do now creates your future later, right? How do you react to the situation in front of you? Because however you react is how somebody else will react to you in the future. You know what I mean? It's not all about your past actions, it's also about your current ones. You know, I used to always tell myself, I'm doing good now. Why isn't things going good for me now? But it's because I've done wrong in the past. Or vice versa. Go ahead.
I was just going to still say, that's why I say it's going to come back to you. It's not right away.
Yeah.
I'm doing good now. Where's these blessings?
Exactly.
Whoa. You have to be continuous every day, a lifestyle, and then you won't even know blessings are coming your way. And you just like, this happened.
Man,
that's what it takes to be a good person.
I know you can vouch for that statement, but I can vouch for that statement, especially with, you know, I mean, even a year ago, even 2 years ago, I wasn't doing right by myself or right by God, and I'm wondering why my world's collapsing around me. You know, why me? I'm victimizing myself. I'm not taking accountability, which is the next point. But
exactly, I want to touch on that too. On all the laws, all the laws, because it all refers to accountability. It all goes back to you and what you're doing, how you're reacting to the situation, what are you giving out. You know, it's all on you to change your perception in your life, whatever is happening to you.
I think that is the beautiful thing about karma, and I think ultimately it is karma, but also it's, and I said this last night, everything bad that happens to me is going to be my fault. Even if it's out of my hands, I could have done something to prevent this situation, right? I could go out that house right now and get hit by a car. I could have not walked in the street. I could have looked both ways better. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and if you were me, you could do a backflip over the
no, exactly. But it's just always taking accountability for your actions. But the opposite side of that is you take accountability for the wrong actions so that you're able to take full accountability for your right actions. There's no such thing as luck, right? If I do bad things and bad things happen to me, it's my fault. But if I receive blessings and I'm successful, it's my fault because I work my ass off. You know what I mean? So it's both ways. You can't take one and not the other. You know, you can't just take the blessings and say it's all me, but whenever something bad happens to you, it's not my fault.
That's why yin yang is big. If you really understand yin yang, I think we talked about this before.
We've talked about all this before.
It all ties in.
Yeah.
You know, there's a sun, there's a moon. There's a dark, there's light. There's hot, there's cold. There's winter, there's summer.
Yes.
You know, like it's always love, hate. So you have to take this with your wrongdoings and your good doings. If you get bad blessings, think about what you did. You get good blessings, think about what you did.
I think it's all going to tie in together, and I think you were right about it's about how deep we go into this as far as how long we talk about this. Because you can go extremely deep, and we can talk about personal experience, which is kind of hard to do, you know, with this being very public, but sorry. But the law of creation and the great law definitely ties into number 3, which is the law of humility, right? Taking accountability requires you to be humble. It requires you to...
Did you talk about this though before you move on?
No, I got you. Yeah,
that's
sorry. Let me rewind for a second. So we're talking about the law of creation still. Like we said, taking accountability. Something bad happens, something good happens. You're always presented with a choice. You're always presented with a decision. And will your actions and reactions always be righteous? Will they always be correct? You know, and maybe you don't always know what the correct answer is, but we all know what good and bad is. You know, some of us want to claim ignorance to that, but it's false. And you do know what's good. You do know what's bad. You know that drugs are bad. You know that whatever is bad, violence is bad, and you know that love is good.
People know cheeseburgers bad.
Exactly.
People know sitting on the couch after work for 5 days a week, you know.
Yeah.
Every day. This is how people live.
No, I know.
They come home to work, sit on the couch,
live that.
and watch TV.
Yes.
Sit on the couch on their phone.
And
you know?
I think that ignorance is the poison that's destroying the world as well, because you're claiming ignorance. Either you're claiming ignorance that you don't know things, or you're claiming ignorance and that you do know things, or that you agree with things that are obviously wrong. You know that cheeseburger is bad, but you're gonna go and eat that shit to fit in with your friends, or you know that whatever is wrong, and you're gonna claim that you believe it. So
weak too.
Exactly.
I don't want to fight. I want to eat now. It's easy. It's right here.
Of course.
Weak.
You
gotta fight that. It's a fight. It's a battle.
Yes.
I've been vegan for 6 years, but after I say a year, not even, probably less, like the battle's over with. You won.
You know, I think we said this in a past episode that change is the hardest thing that we can do, and that maintaining the mindset or the beliefs that we have and that we speak on in this podcast is no easy task.
But I will say, just like, you know, I say everything's an analogy, everything ties in. A lot of things in life are very similar. So, like, changes can be easy. You just have to continuously change. A jump shot can be very easy if you shoot every day. Working out can can be very easy if you work out every day.
I guess I'm referring to the beginning.
If you're continuously changing, I don't know how to stay still, or
Yeah.
I don't even know how to stay the same. Like,
Yeah.
you know, it's kind of almost dangerous, but it's of course a good thing. Like, you want to change, you want to grow, you want to keep elevating.
Yes. I think I told you that the other day, that the more I've lived my life like this, the easier it is. You know, it's easier to do the right thing. I used to think it's easier to do the wrong thing for some reason. I used to think that, but maybe that could have just been an excuse for the things that I was doing, you know, to get a little personal. You know what I mean? Like, maybe your actions are wrong and you know they're wrong, but you don't want to change because you're enjoying these bad actions. But once you start doing positive things, you see how the universe reacts to you being positive. You see how you're guilt-free, walking up to your loved ones, and all of these different things. You know, changing your life for the better is hard in the beginning, but it's fulfilling and easy after a while.
Mm-hmm. You can smile for real.
Yeah.
And believe your happiness.
I
People don't do it, man.
I know.
You see so many people, they can smile, you know, turn around, boom, straight face.
That's why I fake it till you make it. I hate that saying because I understand it in a professional setting, right?
Mm-hmm.
I understand going to work. I understand having to put on a straight face, but why the fuck would I want to fake something? Like, you know, for me, I'm very emotional, right? I think we talked about this before. Me and you are very yin yang, very logical. I'm very emotional, and we rub off on each other in ways that we can improve in both ways. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, I lost my train of thought.
I know we were getting off topic though.
No, please.
Because we're talking about
Please.
the number 2 law of creation always presents with a choice.
Yeah, you're always presented with a choice. Will you react or act righteous in those situations?
So keep that in mind when you're dealing with decisions that you are in control of and that you can make one way or the other.
Mm-hmm.
Think about tomorrow and think about the next week, the month, the year. Who are you going to be? What is these actions going to lead up to?
Or think about others as well.
That too.
For me, and I'm speaking on myself here, right? I'm very quick to think about myself and I don't want to say I don't think about others because I really do give a shit about others, but I don't always think of them first, or I don't always, the food thing, for example, it just fucking happened. I was going to order food before we started filming, but then I stopped and I was like, are you hungry? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, all right, let's go get food after the podcast. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a different way to think, you know, and we talked about this last night as well. If your loved ones are happy, you're happy, right? If I come in and me doing something for him or bringing him a drink is going to make him happy, I'm going to be happy because he's happy, you know, and if we both live that way, there would never be a problem.
Yeah,
you know,
imagine if the world lived that way.
That's what I'm getting at. Yeah, is that you should want to make everybody happy. You know, you should thrive off others' happiness. And that allows me to maintain my righteousness. I'm going to act right, not because of the view that people have on me, but because I would want you to do right by me as well. Mm-hmm. You know, the karma in hand. But law number 3. So the law number 3 is the law of humility. I'd say it's one of the hardest to master, but it's one of the most necessary.
Mm-hmm. It is.
We can get into it.
Humility, a modest or low view on one's own importance. So it's almost like humbling yourself.
Yes.
You know, I just seen an artist today. He showed me doing so many things that I've never seen, and I told him it humbles me. It humbles me because there's no way I could even possibly imagine even starting to think of how to create this painting or something and the techniques that he used.
Yeah.
So I had to step back. As much confidence I have for myself, I had to step back and humiliate myself.
Yeah.
So that I can learn and grow and see that I still have a lot to work to do.
See, the way that you just said humiliate made me think of how I learn, right? Mm-hmm. So there is a difference, obviously, between humiliation that is disrespectful and humiliation that is worthy.
I think humiliation is within yourself. It shouldn't be done by someone like this, hazing. Yeah. Look at this guy, he can't paint, or look at him.
What do you think about, like, between people that are close, like me and you, and you kind of humiliate me whenever we're alone, whenever I say something or you do something, and
still pride.
of course. Okay, so it's not a public thing. That's what you're getting at. I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Like, never mind. I can't say that. But humility. So the reason that it's so important to be humble and have humility with karma, and throughout this process, or not even just with karma, but in your life in general, is it takes, when it comes to karma, it takes humility to accept any bad karma that comes your way as your fault. Back to the accountability. In order to be accountable, you must be able to say, I'm wrong and this was not the right decision for me. You know, I know so many people that cannot admit that they're wrong at all. Like, they will fucking die before they say, you're right.
I'll bring up one of my analogies because I actually seen it on a video years ago and it just stuck with me for life because it was a you heard from me before, but it's a handicapped kid. I think he had, I don't know if he was physically handicapped or Down syndrome, one of the two. He had something, but he still had his mind.
Yeah.
And he was telling a group that like the only way you can be handicapped is having a closed mind.
Yeah.
Because I can't, you know, he can walk, he can't do something physically, but he still has the mind to grow to where if someone's not admitting that they're wrong, they're going to be handicapped for as long as they believe that they weren't wrong.
Yeah.
So it could be for life for some people. So you're literally handicapped.
Yeah.
And you're gonna stay there forever. And that just like, it's huge to me because it's so true. And that's a lot of people. It's a lot of people today.
I was gonna say, with pride and with not being able to admit you're wrong, I've noticed that a lot of people that don't admit they're wrong is because they don't want to seem unintelligent or they don't want to seem like they don't know, right? Mm-hmm. So that's the reason. But by doing this and by going, I'm right, and I'm sitting here like, you know, I know that you're wrong. It just makes you look worse. I'm saying this for the people at home that might have an issue with admitting that they're wrong or might lack accountability in their actions or words. It's okay. It's all right. It's all good. What's the worst that's gonna happen? I'm wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like what? You know what I'm saying? So it's okay to be wrong. The only way to grow is to struggle. And to struggle is to be wrong.
And I think a big part of that is once people are caught in that cycle, they're, you know, it's a spiritual and materialistic world. And people become too materialistic as in the sense that they're leading with their body, they're leading with their flesh, which is material. So it's like you don't step back from the situation and look down on everything from a third person, so that you can see. Did I say this? I said this, I did this, I was wrong. Like my material, my flesh, I made the wrong mistake. But people lead with the material.
And that goes back to last week's episode of separating the mind and the soul, right? I know if I'm able to separate my mind and my soul can tell my mind if I'm wrong. Because your soul knows best, your soul has intuition, right? So accountability, I would say, is one of the easiest and hardest things to do. It depends on who you are, because everybody's different.
But you can be addicted to growth. You can be addicted to progress.
That's how I.
So that's why I know what you're saying.
That's how I feel now. It's like
I don't want to be
everything I do that's wrong is my fault.
Please let me know.
Like,
please.
Nah, and I say that to my coworkers. I say that to you. I've said that to you for a very long time. You know, if I'm wrong, like, be hard on me, man. Like, you know, get on my ass because I want to grow and I'm gonna be successful. And the only way to be successful is to recognize your failures. There's no easy way to the top. There's no easy way to perfection, and it just is what it is. But we're here to encourage, and you know, the love that you find through accountability and through growth is gonna help you interact with other people as well. You know, go ahead.
I was gonna say that goes into, you know, we gotta kind of stay on the topic of karma as well.
Yeah, we're gonna keep going.
As far as you can't admit you're wrong, you know, you're having a difficult time. Sometimes it takes people days, weeks, and then they're like, all right, I was wrong.
Yeah.
But I feel like they deal with the karmic cycle, it's called, the karmic challenge.
Yes,
so
sir.
the universe will keep giving you the same result, same problem over and over until you learn, or else you're just gonna keep on dealing with the same stress, same problems, same eating habits, same drinking problems,
addictions.
Because you gotta face that. You gotta be accountable.
I would say for me, and I'm still in this cycle, right? And I'll get a little personal, right? I'm pretty confrontational. I'm not an angry guy. I'm not violent at all. I'm verbally confrontational.
It's argumentative,
confrontational. If you lie to me, I'm gonna call you out, right? Or if you're saying one thing and doing another, I have to because you're lying. But you can already see why I'm so passionate about it. But through humility, I understand that that's wrong. And not only that, I'm continuously in this cycle of people being put in front of me and lying to my face, and I'm having to love them regardless and not be confrontational.
Because keep in mind, especially the lie, they know they're lying.
Yeah.
They know that you know that they're lying. So when you call them out, they're gonna even protect their innocence that much more.
I know. It sucks.
You're gonna forever be doing that.
I will preference.
They know they're lying. We both know. You can only lie to yourself.
I'm gonna defend myself and kind of backtrack a little bit.
Right.
My intention behind confronting people is pure.
Giving them a chance.
Because I genuinely love you. I don't know you, but I want a good relationship with everybody I come across. And it's not a good step forward if you're fucking lying to me. Because I would never lie to you.
Right.
Or I want to encourage purity and righteousness.
Well, that's what it takes, man, to lead by example.
Yeah.
Keep lying to me. I'm never gonna lie to you. You know what I'm saying? Keep lying.
It just breaks my heart.
It does, but they'll eventually have to stop coming around or change their ways. Stop lying. So you have to lead by example to kind of, people will pay attention and observe.
Yes.
So they're like, okay, he humiliated himself. He admitted he was wrong. It's okay. Yeah, I can do it too.
Yeah, it's like when I had like a situation where I didn't want to cry, and you're telling me that I should cry in front of my loved ones because if I don't, then it'll create environments where they feel like they can't cry. If I go around T all the time and he talks about something emotional and I'm straight faced as fuck to him, like, whatever, he's gonna shut down. He's not gonna want to talk to me. But if he sees that I care and that I'm willing to cry with him, and not only that, I'm willing to share another personal experience and put my own heart on the chopping block with him, then that's gonna encourage growth, and that's
karma.
It's gonna encourage love.
Karma.
It all.
That's what made me open up to my emotions and really unleash, because I felt like that was the main reason why I was a little emotionless, thinking I'm emotionless growing up, because people didn't care, so I would shut down. Okay, I'm trying to open up and you don't care, all right. And then over and over and over, I'm like, I just don't care then. So now it's like, you know what? I'm gonna care for other people.
Yeah.
So that they can care about me.
Comes back around. Yes.
Karma.
And I think that's that same karma plays into why it breaks my heart, because I want people to care for me like I care for them, and then it's not reciprocated, and I'm sensitive, and so it's like, fuck.
And that's the part that's tough that we deal with, because the material and spiritual world, people will care about your material world.
Yes.
I don't care about that.
Yeah.
I want you to care about my spiritual world. So people will discount your spiritual world. Yeah. And then they're like, dang, your car, something material that is that's no big deal.
It's like me. You care more about my car than my heart, and you care more that I don't have a Ferrari, rather than the fact that I tell the truth. And which one's more valuable? Because one's eternal. I just focus on what people are concentrating on. Exactly. They're not concentrating on your emotions, how you feel, what you want to do in the day, as far as joy and happiness. Focus on bullshit. Yeah, it's always, if it's not material, we can't relate. And I'll mention that focusing on, and it's not bad to focus on finances. It's bad that if that's all you focus on, right? So by working on yourself emotionally, spiritually, it's going to help you financially, because you become a leader. You become I need that. You're gonna become a leader and an example for those all around you, right? And people, whether you work for somebody else, is gonna see that, and they're gonna want. How do I explain it? Like do you know what I'm trying to get at?
No, I wasn't listening. I'm focusing on this leftover line.
Sorry, buddy. Sorry. But people are gonna see that you're pure, and people are gonna respect you and see you as somebody that's integral, somebody that tells the truth. Integral, that's a good word. Is that a word? I don't fucking know. Truthful, honorable, righteous, and therefore you're a good leader, and they're gonna trust you with money, and
and that's the reason why we do this podcast. And not only we're doing the podcast, but we're doing it in such an authentic, raw form.
Yes.
Because we don't care. We don't have nothing to hide. This is who we are.
No, exactly.
And this is who we are. Like, this is just who we are.
Yeah.
Like, with the camera, without the mic.
It's
the mic, like,
literally the reason. I'm just gonna flip off what you're saying. The reason that we haven't spent $5,000 on a fucking camera, a mic setup, background shit is because we're not focused on what you're seeing. You should be hearing the words that are coming out of our mouth.
Material.
You're gonna be worried that I'm wearing a fucking hat. You should be worried about what's coming out of my mouth because we're trying to help. And
I think it's people with the soul, it's vibrant, strong souls that we're speaking to. That's why Soul Talk, we have strong souls, so we want to talk to other souls.
Yeah.
We don't want to talk to, if your name is Bob, Billy, John, we want to talk to whoever you are is inside of John or Billy or Bob.
That's what I was about to mention, and I was going to explain that concept on camera because, yes, it's a very deep thing. But, right, I'm Sam, but who is Sam? Sam is the name that my parents gave to me whenever I was born, right? And you might say, well, Sam is me in my physical body, but I'm moving my arms right now. Who is mine? Who am I? Who is this voice coming out of me right now? Because it damn straight me. What's making me vibrate my vocal cords at this frequency to make these noises? What's causing my tongue to dialect these words like this? Dictate, whatever it is. Who are you? I'm talking to you. I'm not talking to your body. I'm not talking to...
But I think that's the key to tapping into accountability too, because it's like you realize I'm in control.
Mm-hmm.
I can control this. I can control my arms. People don't think that deep though. They think it's over here.
Because we just...
So now it's like, all right, I had a bad situation. What could I have done?
Yeah.
Because I was in that situation. It was me.
Mm-hmm.
I controlled myself there. I could have controlled myself a little differently. If I knocked over this glass, I could have controlled my arm
yes.
to not do it.
Yes.
It's not me.
Exactly. And I know it can be foreign to some people, or, it might brain fuck you a little bit. You don't really know, how to interpret it, but it's the truth, And I don't know if whenever you get into deep conversation, you have human connection with people, it's like you start to ramble and you start to soul talk.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the purpose of this video. That's why we're going to fuck up on what we're saying, right? We're going to, because we're not sitting here planning bullshit to say to you, right? We're just telling you what's helped us in our lives and what can benefit you and yours, because we love you and we care and we really want you to grow. And the things that we say are the things that we've done that have helped us grow immensely.
One second, this bullet point.
Yeah, talk about it.
Takes humility, because we're still on number 3, law of humility. Takes humility to access karmic weight. If you were or are doing wrong, you're carrying negative karma you're not even conscious of.
Yeah. So I can touch on it.
You touch on it.
For me, the reason that I put that bullet point there is because you could not be completely aware of a lot of the negative things that you're doing, right? Which you should be because you're in control, but I understand how it is because I used to be this way, right? I think I'm the shit, fuck you, fuck everybody, and I'm putting off negative energy, right? Or I'm doing bad things, but I'm me, so I'm doing these bad things, and years later I've changed. And why do I still feel this guilt? Why do I still encounter these situations Why do I still have this emotional baggage from a bad relationship? You know, and it's because there's no time limit on your karma.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no way, the only way to allow that to go away is to recognize the things you've done, and to allow time to pass and you being pure and righteous through that time. You know, it's like whenever your skin regenerates, what is it, every 90 days?
Yeah, I believe so.
It's like every 90 days, your body regenerates. Every 12 years.
10 years, your bones reset.
Every 10 years, your bones reset. So if I'm sitting here eating cheeseburgers for 10 years, I'm going to have a bullshit ass body. But for the next 10 years, I'm still going to face the problems of me eating cheeseburgers every day. But if I'm eating right, after that 10 years, I'll be free. And I'll have the karmic way
It's
to
even
go.
a bit deeper than that too, because the food that you eat, it cleanses your DNA and genes. That cleanses it. It touches everything as far as genes and DNA. So as far as your children and your future, like we were just talking about, who you are, what you're gonna look like, feel, is what you're eating and what you're consuming as far as content.
Does that affect your kid's genetics?
100%.
So my kid will look better if I look better whenever
100%. I mean, think about it. If I'm getting calcium, zinc, you know, I'm gonna be strong. As my body is producing the kid, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to get too deep, but my body is part of that.
No, that's beautiful.
As well as the woman is part of that, and then it combines to genes and DNA to form into whatever life form that y'all have.
I haven't even considered that, right? Because obviously, if I'm not even gonna get into it because we need to focus on
I know.
This could be a whole other episode, you know, about bloodlines, about.
We're gonna have a health episode.
Of course, we're gonna have a health.
Because I could have just went so deep, but
you should have. But I would say the last point that I have is the reason that humility is necessary is because you need humility in order to attract good things, right? You approaching every encounter humbly allows you to react and attract good things. You know, so and that goes back to you're always presented with a choice, right? If every encounter I have somebody that's pissed off and insults me, and I react with love, you know, I'll be presented with mercy whenever I fuck up. Because it's inevitable. I'm human, right? And though we strive for perfection, we're not God. We're a version of God, but whole other episode. But you must maintain humility because if you're humble with yourself, it'll allow you to present others with humility and mercy in their actions. And you assume innocence if you are accountable, you know.
Definitely good for the soul. Protect your soul, protect your ethereal body, first line of existence. And you can do that with anything and everything. And that's why you have to learn about accountability, because I don't want to get too deep.
We don't need it. We'll have a whole other episode over accountability. Also, law number 8 or 9 or something like that involves accountability as well.
Let me just touch on it.
Please.
Infinite mirror. The infinite mirror, because I want to dive into it.
You're gonna go ahead. No, I'm just excited.
Just about how you are what you look like. You know, you think of how you are, and you are what you think like. So judgment is a little real. Like, we all judge everyone. We all judge people. So whatever you look like is who you are. Who you are is what you look like. So it just so happens that I don't know how to put it.
We gotta go into more depth because, like, if I didn't know what you were talking about, it wouldn't make sense what you're saying. I'd say maybe compare it to the water. You say nice things to the water every day, the water is gonna be clear, clean. And this is a real science experiment. Please look it up. If you're sitting there giving love to that water and saying, "You're the best water in the world, you're so clear, I love you," whatever, the water will maintain clarity and be pure.
And it'll be healing to the body.
Exactly. Please keep explaining. You explain it because you told me about that. And I want to give it
so if you
justice.
say I hate you to the other water, it's not going to be as healing. It's not going to be as alkalized. The pH balance isn't going to be as high. But as far as the infinite mirror, it's accountability. Like, if you feel like your cheeks are too big, or anything minuscule like that, like, I believe everything down to the T is what you look like is who you are. So you need to maybe get some more sunlight, start going on walks, maybe read a little bit more, maybe meditate. These things you have to take care of. So if you take care of your soul, those are all soulful things, not materialistic. They're all part of nature. So if you become one with nature, nature's gonna take care of you back. So if you protect yourself from the material, as far as TV, types of music, off-gassing from chemicals, tuning in on your plant-based products, whatever you touch, your body touches, it absorbs right away. Your skin is your biggest organ, so like as long as you are aware of all these things, you're protecting yourself. That's what I mean by protect your ethereal body. Don't put ink into me, don't inoculate me. I don't want this, don't leave me alone. As long as you protect yourself, it's almost like a little spiritual bubble. Because of course we're not going to be rolling around in bubbles. But it's a spiritual bubble, a mental bubble, bubble to protect yourself, to only want good and positive. And then boom, the God, nature, universe, karma is going to repay you with abundance. And it doesn't have to be material abundance. It can be mental abundance. And it just so happens that, say, even being vegan, like my weight and body physique is the last good thing about it all. It just so happens that, it's gonna make your skin glow too.
Yeah.
But that's not the main thing.
It's not the main benefit. It's not what you do.
It's your soul and who you are, your spiritual side, and you get to really learn God in a way. You get to meet God.
I will say become God.
Yes.
But I know.
It's controversial.
But on the last thing that you're saying, I'm a living testimony to that as well, right? The more that I love myself and I found my soul, and I found my soul before I even knew T, right? But a lot of these methods, ideas, ideologies, the things that we do on a day-to-day basis and the way we live our lives have allowed me to transform myself physically as well, or at least start the process of such, which is something that...
But it's your mental first.
Exactly.
So, and then everything else is just going to trickle down.
Yeah, no, exactly. Once you're on board, it's hard to even eat a cheeseburger. Seriously. But what goes around comes around. Please, I know this episode was like a little unorganized, but I feel like it's...
Yeah, it's still definitely good content.
No, exactly. That's what I was going to say. But that's kind of what we want it to be, in a sense, is we don't want a script. We don't want fucking 2 cameras bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is raw. This is really how we feel. We're not even planning it this much. I did notes on karma, on the history of karma and what the laws are, but our beliefs are genuine and on the spot, on the spot, so you know that they're genuine and pure. Do you have anything else?
I mean, no, that's it for the day. That's just the first 3 laws.
I can't wait for the other ones. I feel like it's going to hit a lot harder the more we get into it. This was just more of an intro to introduce you to karmic laws.
Yeah, just kind of make you think a little more.
Exactly.
Give you more perspective. It's not like we know it all, but we are striving, and a lot of people don't strive.
Yes.
So we want to help people strive.
Absolutely.
And help us. That's why we love to have people comment, like, subscribe, all this and that. Please let us know.
We want y'all support because we support y'all. If we feed off of each other, we can both grow in the process. Please comment ideas. We have the next couple episodes planned out, but we really want to know what you guys struggle with. You can message us privately on Instagram. I'll put it in the description. If you don't want to put your public,
even if you put your name, we won't drop your name. If you want a situation, you're dealing with a family situation, relationship, and just that one situation, a lot of things align. So you can let us know a situation. We can.
I'd love to have a Q&A.
Give you some tips.
Yeah.
Not even tips, advice, or suggestions, I would say.
Or
it doesn't mean we're necessarily right every time. but we can suggest a way to go about it from our perspective.
That's what I was gonna say, is if we've been through it, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and if we haven't been through it, what is the purest and righteous way to assess the situation? But we're getting off topic. We love you guys. We will see you guys very, very soon with the next karmic challenges and laws. Please stay conscious. Please stay genuine. Please comment, like, and subscribe.
And we'll be on Spotify soon.
Yes, sir. Peace.